Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is a Cougar After Thoughts Show from GoCoogs.com. That's Santa Claus. And we're brought to you by Star Pizza, Section 12X, and of course the good people at the Ritz. Brad, first thought on this game.
I loved it. It's exactly what we needed. I was hoping for a big blowout and for the backups to get a lot of playing time, and they did, and some guys played really, really good. It was a much-needed game for a lot of guys. So that's my initial thought.
Stats by Starnes. I got to go there. JoJo Tugler, 19 minutes, 0 fouls.
Boom!
Got to be impressed.
Hey, and he got the ball down low and dunked it with authority. So,
wow,
we're taking big steps, Dr. Harper.
Hang on just a minute. Why don't you look at some comments, and I'm going to be right back.
I was happy that they started that as soon as our show started. Let's see here. Let's go with Jay Mitch. The Beach needed this game. The freaking Beach needed the game. I know what you meant. The bench. Chase led the team in rebounds. Also happy to see Jacob on the floor. Yeah, Chase played great. I thought Mercy played great. Huge night for Zay Harwell. Everybody, that's the kid that I saw last year. That's the type of guy that you're going to get as he gets more and more into this program. He really, really needed that to feel normal. One thing that it was funny, I wrote it down as it was during a timeout, and Reed Geddes said almost the exact same thing I wrote down word for word. Said that he finally looked like he felt comfortable. He finally felt comfortable. He was assertive with the ball, stopped thinking and started playing. And that was great to see. He just got such a smooth jump shot. He could flat out ball. I want to talk about Mercy Miller a little bit later, but I'm so impressed with him because he's a completely different player today than I thought he was or would be. He's honestly playing more along the lines of Ramon Walker, just playing a lot more gritty, doing things off the ball.
What did you think Mercy would be?
More along the lines of Sasser. Pure shooter, pure scorer that learns defense later. But Mercy's getting a lot of the gritty stuff, and playing better defense sooner than I thought he would. Still has lapses, but he's playing much better. Let's see here. JoJo with 0 fouls. Let's go ahead and do you have any word on, let's address it up real quick. Do you have any word on Taco?
But it's not good. It's not good. They won't know tonight, but it's not good.
No. All right, put yourself on mute. If you've already seen it at home, you've seen the replay or seen it on Twitter or whatever, he didn't hit it hard. You don't have to hit it hard, but his knee kind of twisted in, and it looked like I'm not saying this is what it is, but it had all the visual similarities of MCL or an ACL. Let's hope for just nothing but a sprain, but it looked painful. It looked painful. I think Chase also went out, but he came back in. I don't know if he got poked in the eye or something like that. I couldn't tell. I know he was pointing to his eye during that timeout, but I don't know. Obviously, it's not too bad. Let's see here. Hold on. Yeah, Sacco is all I'm thinking about. Yeah, and I don't want to think about it too much, just because, all we could do is worry about the worst case scenario, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to get too crazy into speculation, but keep our fingers crossed for him and for the program. Jacob McFarland. I tell you what, man, I sat here and I watched him come in. Right before he came in, Reed looked down and said, I'm looking at the end of the bench. I don't see Jacob McFarland down there. And then all of a sudden he says, "Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. He's coming in the game." Like his Willis Reed moment.
Yeah, he came out of the tunnel like Rocky. Kelvin did one of these, like he was calling in a righty.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But as soon as he came in, I just sat there and I just smiled like an idiot for the rest of the game, just because what that kid's been going through. And then this year, he was supposed to be able to step in and finally get some action and really work his way into a backup spot. And then the leg does it all over again. And so you're like, shit, man, it's 2 years. He's 2 years lost to injury, but he healed up better. And it's just, that's a lot, man. It's a lot physically, a lot of hard work, but just emotionally and mentally, that's really difficult to go through.
I have some thoughts further about injuries when Kelvin allows me to talk more, but we'll get there. Why don't you talk about Star Pizza and Section 12X?
Section12x.com. We all know that we got a big game coming up. Got to look fly for that. Got to look fly for Christmas as well. Christmas Eve. I mean, you might need 3 shirts for that, and probably 3 or 4 different hats too. I mean, you got a bunch to choose from. You got 4 hats that I'm aware of. I only have 2 because those are ones that I like the best. But got this one, got the white one, Swagger Coug, and then you got the red one also. So go get it. Star Pizza. I'm here sweating just thinking about Star Pizza. That's probably not a good thing. Nothing like getting the meat sweats just thinking about it. How do you know you're fat? Start sweating thinking about pizza. Yeah, go get Star Pizza. Hold on. Had some Star Pizza before the game. Starburst hit the spot. There's really not a bad pizza that they make, and I'm not one who likes vegetables on my pizza.
No shit.
But hey, I don't mind it. Not only pizza, got all the pastas that you can think of, all different ways you can think of it. The salads are fantastic. The garlic cheese bread. Yeah, go ahead and get that, and that'll help you sleep for a couple of weeks.
Fat as a pudding, jolly as bells, I carry my belly like presents and sleds. It wobbles and jiggles, a bowl full of jelly, but joy is the secret that fills up this belly. Plump and proud, yet merry and bright.
Fat.
Why don't you do yours that I made for you?
On this road of golden stone, I dance and give a cheer for the Cougar After Thoughts Show, the best you'll ever hear. I'm the Munchkin host with the tailcoat glow, guiding you to the Cougar After Thoughts Show. We laugh, replay, and roar some more.
I have hair. I have hair.
That was the only negative of that whole thing. I tried to get it to where it gave you hair, but it just kept changing everything. It was too perfect. I did another one for Ryan too that we'll probably see at some point.
Oh, the suit fits snug and the buckle gleams like new. Here's a little rhyme about the fat and jolly too. This bright red coat hugs the cheer I keep, a belly of laughter piled deep. This
We can do this all night, Batman.
Oh, holy shit, that hurt.
All right, let's get it. Go Cougs! Ha! Woo! Talking about them Cougars. Go Cougs! That's how we do it.
Oh, I have the AI wars. I love it. This is the future, y'all. This is the future.
I want to talk to y'all about the week Kelvin has had a little bit. He's going on right now.
snow on the rooftop, fire aglow. Here's a salute to the Cougar After Thoughts Show, where ideas leap quick as a mountain cat stride, pouncing on questions with wonder inside. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
You know, I've had 4 athletic trainers. This program has persevered for a reason. Gotten better.
So you had 9 turnovers in the first half. Not great, but only 2 in the second half. Very good. 19 assists on 31 made buckets. That's pretty good.
I'll take that.
Jackson State had 25 turnovers, which is quite a bit. 25 turnovers and 38 points. 25 turnovers and 13 buckets. And 9 of those buckets were 3-pointers. That's wild. Because they didn't shoot a ton of 3-pointers coming into this game.
Who?
Jackson State.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they couldn't get. They had a tough time getting to the lane, so you got to throw something up, right? Well, I mean, if they weren't gonna shoot it, they were probably gonna throw it into the 3rd or 4th row. But it's exactly what we needed. I'm just really. I loved how Emmanuel played tonight. He was on fire too, so that always helps. But you start to see him. I think he took that Tennessee game personally and has made some nice adjustments since then. Being a lot more assertive with the ball, a lot more aggressive. And
do you know why he had a big game tonight?
Because he made shots. I don't know. I mean,
he was trying to impress somebody.
Oh yeah, probably.
He was showing his boy, former roommate Jamal Shed, what's what. And that's fantastic. Get Jamal to go to every big game this year. Raptors don't beat him. He had a huge game last night for the Raptors in the NBA Cup, and then comes down and shows up at this game.
Nice.
Kelvin's talking about how we're all ignorant right now, so he is off on a fun one. I can't wait to go watch this. Look at some comments or something, Brad. I'm going to mute myself again.
All right. Let's see here. This team oozes with potential. It just needs to be actualized, and it will. Yeah. It's just going to be time. It's just going to be time. That's right. That's why that was the biggest thing coming out of this game for me, is that you got some guys playing that needed to play. And they got extended time where you could focus on them without, any kind of worry. And they played well. I mean, Chase it's going to be big for him going forward. I don't know. I'll say this: Sacco's going to miss at least a couple of weeks. We don't know what the outlook is after that, but I would at least think that he's going to miss at least a few games minimum. So Chase is going to be a big part of this team, and he's got to be able to get some confidence, and that's all these guys need is time to get more confident. And also, their minutes have been sporadic up until now, and so the groups that they're playing with are all different. So the normal kind of an 8-person rotation, they all get used to playing together. The other guys have to find that as well. And tonight was a big way to get them in there and at least get that, remove some of that fear of making mistakes, and at least telling them, hey, this is what it's going to be. I can do this. Not that they didn't believe that, but it feels, it just builds something extra whenever you're able to actually go out there and do it. You're like, yeah, I knew I could do this. Ball was at the game. I'm going to be optimistic with Sacco, but for him, if it's season ending, he can apply for a medical red shirt. This is game 10. Yeah, I mean, you're going to apply for a medical red shirt for everybody. Anytime that it happens. Let's see here. Los needs to get out of his funk. Another rough shooting night from 3. I don't disagree. It all begins and ends. I mean, we saw him last year, and you saw what he turned into. What he turned into was not a catch and shoot guy. It was a guy who made plays off the dribble. I can't remember how many. Can't count how many floaters he was hitting, big floaters, and getting into the paint. He's not doing that as much this year, and that opens up his game. I think he's pressing a little bit right now, which is natural. That's just what happens. Yeah, of course. I mean, remember. This time last year, everybody was saying we didn't have a point guard, and they were talking about Milos. So, I mean, if you believe he is the player that he finished the season at last year, then I feel pretty good with him being the player that that he was.
And he did that for 30 games. It's not like it was just 3 or 4 at the end of the year. He did it for 20 in the conference. He did it for 3 in the conference tournament and 6 in the NCAA tournament. 29 games.
True. Let's see here. That is the happiest I've seen Kelvin after a win probably ever. A lot of guys got minutes and executed. I think there's also more behind that I think Ryan can talk about, kind of the way that they played, the way that they practiced, and his reaction to it, and his reaction to their reaction. We'll get to that. Mark that right there as a reminder. We'll go back to it when the press conference is over and there's not a lot of noise in the background, Ryan. I am joining late. Where is the Godfather?
Fired.
Definitely not fired. He's training, and he's training at his new job, in his new regular people job. So he's taking it serious. These games, you never know when they're going to end.
He's actually at a training thing this week and is just completely unavailable. So,
Yes. Who potentially steps into the Sacco role if he misses time? Said we play Arkansas, who has a lot of size in 10 days. You're going to see. We're probably going to play. Probably going to go small, and you're going to see McCarty in there, and then a rotation of just Sadak at. You're going to hunt matchups, basically, is what you're going to do, and then you're going to have. You're gonna see McCarty and Harwell take a bigger role. You're going to see Big Said play some minutes and get some in there. And I think you're probably going to start seeing more and more of McFarland. You just got to slowly kind of get him in, but it's going to take some time. But he's going to be forced into action, probably sooner than what you had hoped. Let's see here. Do you think we're getting closer to executing our defensive rotations? Coach Samp got fired up after the stop. That's the most in-tune defense I've seen so far. It is getting better. But I think we've still got a long way to go. And the thing is that our defensive rotations are good for some teams, but it's not anything close to what we expect. And it's going to just take a lot more time of guys getting familiar, along with us being young, inexperienced at a lot of spots. We're playing a lot of guys, and we have been playing a lot of guys this whole season, consistently running out 10 guys every night. I think there might have been only one or two games where we played less than 10. Maybe 9.
Auburn, and maybe Tennessee. They just finished, so I'm going to be able to talk to you now.
But yeah, we've been running a lot of guys out there because we know I think Coach understands you've got to bring a lot of guys together and give yourself a lot of options, because as much as you want to bring everybody along at the same speed, not everybody's going to catch up to where you need them to be. So you never know who that's going to be until, they're underneath the bright lights and, getting the pressure on them. Let's see.
How about we do go back to the comment that you were going to save for me. I don't remember what it was. You'll find it. You'll figure it out. Okay. This is the happiest I have seen Kelvin after a win probably ever. A lot of guys got minute and executed. And I'm going to let you in on a little, maybe not secret, but kind of secret. But so Kelvin kicked the entire team out of practice on Monday. Just kicked them out. Now, coaches have been using this tactic for a million years. Nobody did it more than Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight loved to kick his team out. And Kelvin does it. He doesn't do it as much with this team because they need all the practice they can get. But he got fed up Monday. And one of the things that pissed him off the most was there was a guy on the white team that was beating the ass off the red team. The red team is the starters. And that was Isaiah Harwell. Harwell was lighting the red team up. Now they're talking to Jacob McFarland, and I can't hear anything. So we'll come back to this in just a minute.
Let's see here. Like this. To add to my comment, I love when Reed Geddes calls our game, because he will say things and understand circumstances a lot of commentators don't. I agree. Maybe I'm selfish because Reed says a lot of the same things I'm thinking or that I'm writing down. So yeah, he makes me feel validated, but he knows what U of H is doing and knows what they're looking for. And he can kind of give you that real-time read into kind of the mentality of what should be going on and can, highlight when it does or when it doesn't. But I like him a lot. I'm sure other teams might hate him because it sounds homer. See, this Jackson State team scored 70 versus Louisville, scored 66 versus Auburn, and Cougs hold them to 38. Strong performance, 100%. And the funny thing is, they were within 5 at about the, 14 minutes or so. And then UH went on a big run and shut them. I think they shut them out for 5 minutes and then shut them out another 9 minutes. And by then it's just too late. What are you going to do? No, absolutely not. No, you're not going to replace Reed. Somebody loves him, somebody hates him. I don't know how you could hate Reed and think he's terrible. Okay, sure, whatever. Harwell looks really smooth. He's very smooth. Quick release too, which is even better. Speaking of commentators, it's time to have a respectful conversation about Big E. I don't listen to the radio, so sure. Kind of, what are you doing listening to the radio? What are you, 80? Jesus, are you sitting with a transistor in your pocket with the little one little earpiece like this? Man. Oh. So they still talking, Ryan? Sorry, I opened up a window and I couldn't hear what was going on. So who do we got coming up? We got play on Saturday, right? I don't know. I don't really care. I just hope it's somebody we can blow out because
it's New Orleans.
Right there,
Big E gets to stay as long as he wants. I agree. I think he's earned it. He being one of the greatest players to ever walk the planet. At any level, college, pro, whatever. See, I know it all gets lost, but I think the people of today, the jackasses who are doing the little 6-7 dance out there, think that the players today there's nobody that could ever come close. I mean, when you've seen, I didn't get to see Big E play, but it was close enough to where I could see highlights and compare it to the guys that I saw in my old days. That dude was freaking good. That guy could travel time and still be successful in whatever area, whatever year. One thing that people don't, whenever they want to talk about the old guys or whatever, they couldn't play in today's game. Yeah, guess what? They would have the exact same training that all these other guys. They would be pumping themselves full of the exact same steroids that LeBron has been pumping for 20 years. They would all be doing that. Could you imagine Wilt Chamberlain with all of the technology today? Jesus Christ. People thought Shaq was dominant. I mean, Shaq basically Shaq had his lunch stolen from him from Akeem.
Okay.
Until Akeem retired.
Okay. Shaq was a young man. No Shaq disrespect here. I saw something on this, the UT volleyball only arena, which they have now. They have an old gym, Gregory Gym, that they've used, and now they're building something new. Okay.
Oh, so the so the old ancient one that they moved out of no longer good enough.
They moved. Well, I mean, I'm thinking they moved into Gregory Gym in the late '90s, and I just assume that's where they've been. It was a cool place to watch a volleyball game.
But that was the gym that's been around forever.
Yeah, it's 100 years old.
I mean, that was their original gym before the drum, right?
Yes. Yes, the women's volleyball team goes there now, or plays there now. But that's the extent of our UT talk. How about that? I want to say the most impressed I have been with this fan base in years was them recognizing that Jacob McFarland was coming into the game, and that he's been here for as long as he has, 2.5 years, hadn't played in a game, and they all went to their feet, standing ovation for Jacob McFarland as he came in. That was badass, and the most proud I've been of these fans in forever. They gave Jamal Shedd a huge standing ovation, as they should. But for them to recognize Jacob's struggle, I think is really cool.
Yes.
So to go back to Kelvin. So Kelvin threw the team out Monday. They had a short practice yesterday. On that practice Monday, Isaiah was just taking the lunch of the starting guards. So he earned the playing time. And then when he got this playing time tonight, he did something with it. And I was told that they felt like he was so close, like he was coming. I don't know if they expected this, but they thought that he was ready to turn the tide. You know, he's lost a lot of time over the last 18 months with injury, just like JoJo has. JoJo lost from late February of 2024 through September of 2024 due to injury. And then he lost the entire summer this year. He came back in August and September and started doing conditioning, but didn't really get back to basketball till October. Well, what they are asking of him is so different than what they asked of him for the last 2 years that it's taken time to adjust. He played 19 minutes today and didn't have a foul, made some ridiculous defensive plays. One on a goaltend that I don't know if it was a goaltend. I don't know. I thought it was pretty close, and they went with what was called, which is fine.
Taking $1 off the top of the backboard and leaving change.
Yeah. I mean, he is crazy athletic. And yeah. I gave Jacob a standing ovation from my living room. Good job. Brad, where is Galen when you need him? Whoa, Ryan, that was crazy. I don't even know what was crazy. I don't even know what I did. But the important thing is here we are. I got a new shirt. You see this? My Christmas shirt. It's got Santa. It's got the Waffle House. Very happy with my Waffle House sweater.
The Christmas at Fight Club?
No, he did not. Played 19 minutes. No fouls. Give it to him.
It's impressive.
Yep.
I mean,
I cut you off. Finish your thought.
I mean, pretty much every game of his career, he's had 2 before the first TV timeout.
I think he makes up for it Saturday. They're going to give him 8 to play with.
We're going to
And,
knock on wood, and let's hope every game is going to say we're going to start a new trend. All you need is one more, and it's a trend. It's a streak.
For sure.
So what we going with? We're going to talk about Moore.
Sherrod Moore. What a crazy story this has been today.
Woo.
So I think people are overstating. Okay, now he's in custody in county jail. I was told he was detained. Now he's actually in jail.
Well, people have come out with a story that seems to be a lot of people agreeing that it is the story.
I don't want to get into anything that we don't know for sure.
Okay, well, these are being reported as this is the truth.
Okay.
After all this went down,
he got fired.
He's at home with his wife, and he holds a knife to his neck and threatens to
allegedly
sue himself. And then he didn't do that, and apparently found himself at his
lady friend
side piece's home and threatens to kill himself, but then says, I'm going to do you too. And then somehow he magically disappears there, and then he was
wait he said kill her. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
But
because he actually did her once,
true,
at least.
And
that's where the problems stem from. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's
bad. And I mean, it didn't get this ugly with Michigan State, but they went through a situation, had to fire coach. Well, they got out of a coach's contract, a 10-year contract, Mel Tucker, who had an inappropriate relationship. That state has figured out how to get out of bad contracts. So good for them. But if that's true, what's happened, that's pretty awful.
Have you also seen the unimpeachable evidence that something really weird was going on? She was the assistant to the head coach, had the operative word, and she was making $55,000 a year. Allegedly, their affair started last year, and all of a sudden she pops up. She's got a $91,000 salary doing the same job.
Well, 55 sounds really low for a job with as much responsibility as that sounds like. But it doesn't sound like maybe she got it in the best way.
She got it the old-fashioned way.
Hey, it's going to make her life a living hell. She didn't do anything wrong. I mean, morals aside, whatever. But what I really want to talk about, kind of off the subject of basketball, is the football renewals that are going out for tickets.
Yes. This is the good stuff.
U of H listened. U of H thought through something and decided that they're going to slash prices. The North Prime chairbacks, 128, 130, received a 23% price slash. Sideline chairbacks, 24%. The Queenie's Party Patio, which I really like, is going to get a 50% reduction in price. They're moving the students around just the tiniest bit. They're adding another pay plan. So there was a 3-month pay plan. Now there's going to be a 7-month pay plan, which is fantastic. You have got to find new ways to get people in the stadium. And reducing prices is one way. Reducing ticket prices and the congestion headaches that are all over campus. You've got to figure that out. So this is a good first step. Build on your momentum of the bowl game, of selling the 6,000 seats you were required to sell, which you've already done. Mm-hmm. And this is a really fantastic start. It's a start.
I'm excited about it because I've been begging for this for 20 years. I can't hear you. You're on pause.
I was talking to Hollis Price about Jacob McFarland. So he just walked by, wanted to ask what he thought, and he said that was big time.
But yeah, I've been asking for this for 20 years because my thought has always been I want to price the tickets as low as it takes to get more and more people to show up. And then once you start selling out, or at least have enough demand to where your season tickets sell out to where you want it, then you can start raising prices. I mean, like basketball, you raise prices as you're filled up. I mean, if you have no more room, then there's a little bit more elasticity in your pricing.
Yes.
But when you have nothing, and I mean, the timing of it couldn't be any better because we're coming off of a winning season. So that should get a lot of people hyped. And like here, Connor says 50% reduction in the new party patio. I'm 100% buying. I think it'd be a good idea. But then again, I'm partial to end zone seats. Those are my favorite seats in any stadium, in any football game whatsoever, because I get to see the play open up. Ryan, you okay?
Yeah. I didn't disagree with anything you said.
Okay.
Okay. That wasn't weird. The people are just coming up to me a little strangely. So, the new report just broke that he's being investigated for assault. I mean, if you tell somebody that you're gonna, that's assault at least.
I mean, you're probably going to get in trouble if you're yelling at somebody, even just yelling at them while you're holding a knife or a weapon of any kind. I don't know it from experience. I've done a lot of stupid shit, but that's not one of them.
Good. I'm just looking at comments. Okay, this is my favorite spelling of Khalifa's name, Sacco. There is no status at this point. Any lower body injury, you're really ever going to hear something the day of. It's going to take a day or two because there's always going to be swelling. But it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. So.
Oh, here's what I wanted you to read. Any word on Coach? I don't know how to say that.
Econom. I don't know directly. Like, I don't know who we're talking about is evaluating him, but they're 9-1. Guard play. I mean, Kingston has been really good. Milos is struggling, but he's playing a new spot. I think it's hard to evaluate somebody on 10 games, an assistant coach especially. So true. I'll just
if we do lose Sacco for the year, spelled correctly, but I really like SOCKO, so that's the way we'll go with it from now on.
Yeah.
If we do lose him for the year, could we see more Ramon get more minutes because he'll start playing? We'll start playing smaller. I think you're going to see Ramon regardless. I think you're going to see him get more. He's just a guy that I think you can trust. And he's going to give you some really, really tough minutes. But yeah, I mean, with if we're going to have to go smaller, we're going to have to run a lot of guys out there. and I think he'll definitely get more playing time because of that. But I was expecting him to get more playing time as it was anyhow, just because him playing back into shape and then also being kind of a steady hand and a leader. I mean, you got to remember him back as a freshman and sophomore when he really kind of broke out. He was already a leader type of guy back then, and that's only grown.
He got his chance after December injuries 3 years ago, right? And shined. And, you hate to say it, but this is a similar spot. It looks like.
Well, I mean, that's last year we were really lucky with
very lucky with injuries last year.
I mean, we had some. I mean, Jaywan had his nagging injuries, but I think that was more just kind of old age and arthritis kicking in. But I mean, we lost. We held Emmanuel out for a week, a couple of games towards the end. But if you think,
he missed the game at Colorado.
He missed Colorado, and I thought he missed one more.
He might have.
K-State.
Yeah.
But anyhow, if you think before that, we had devastating injuries like 3 or 4 years in a row. So much so that everybody was saying, Coach needs to practice. He needs to change the way he practices. We need to do a different training routine because what we're doing is killing our players, except last year.
Yeah.
Injuries are a thing, man. It just happens. You do everything you can to guard against it, and you just never know.
I agree. Damn it. I'm looking for that comment again.
Come
on. How is Cordell doing? They're just holding him out. There's no reason to press right now. You've got plenty of guard play right now. There's no reason to go crazy with him. Malik is killing it in Europe. I have not seen this. I'm going to go find out, though. That's awesome. My favorite Cougar ever. And I'm happy for him, if that's true. What is the status of Sacco? Shout out Jamie Hollingsworth for this. Sacco.
Hey,
Sacco.
You said it was autocorrect, bro. I'm not making fun of you, but I'm laughing. I'm laughing with everybody. It is
no. I love that. You call snacks, and you got Sacco, Mr. Sacco, and snacks.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay.
The only justice in the whole world, the only justice is this happening. That weenie ass Marcus Freeman goes to Michigan.
Marcus Freeman would be, I would love to see it just because I like chaos, but he would be an idiot to leave Notre Dame now that they're guaranteed to be in the CFP if they're top 12. And have you seen their schedule next year?
I can't imagine it's much worse than their schedule this year.
It's worse. It's worse.
They played 4 teams that were 3-8 or worse this year.
And I think they have all of those on the schedule again next year.
Everybody gives them praise for their schedules, but it's always been a joke.
They're playing Wisconsin at Lambeau Field. They got Rice at home, Michigan State at home.
Wisconsin, terrible. Rice, terrible. Michigan State.
Yeah.
Michigan
State.
Okay.
At Purdue.
Ooh.
At North Carolina.
Ooh.
Navy neutral. Miami at home. Boston College at home.
Ooh.
SMU at home. Syracuse on the road. Stanford at home. And USC.
That's 9 wins. Easy. right?
They
You
play
don't have
three.
to.
They play 3 road games.
You don't even have to go and play USC, and you're going to end up with 9 games. You could just not play it, and you're going to end up with 9 wins. They have 3 real road games. Is that what you're saying?
3 true road games.
I don't know if I've ever seen
And
3.
those road games are at Purdue, at North Carolina, and at
Syracuse. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, apparently USC is going to be neutral site. Navy is at Foxborough, and Wisconsin's Lambeau.
Where is USC? Is it in Vegas?
Probably. It
Yeah.
just says TBD. It doesn't. It looks like they're not playing the home and home anymore.
My understanding is that Manny was hurt through the championship game, played through the pain, did not fully recover until the summer. Yeah, he was.
Makes sense.
I mean, a lot of guys play through pain. That doesn't mean they're injured necessarily, but
No. But
they're hurt.
But one thing that we as fans don't know, and that we never will, is how truly hurt they are. Because however hurt we think they might be, it's a lot worse than that. Because that's just what you do.
It's the expectation in every sport, everywhere, but maybe more here.
Well, not even that. These guys don't want it. It's not like you're being forced to do it.
Correct.
It's the type of toughness that these guys have, and they build such a bond that they don't want to miss any time because it's a let your teammate down, and it's the way it feels. But I mean, I spent most of my career hurt in some way or another, all the way up through high school, and nobody would ever know it because I'm not going to tell anybody, and I'm not going to sit out unless I cannot literally walk.
What do you think about Yormark's criticism of Notre Dame's AD?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for one specific reason also, because I don't ever want him thinking that it'd be good for us to try to add them, because I hate everything that they are.
I don't
They're
think that
worse
would
than-
ever be a possibility.
They're worse than UT, and they would try to run everything while doing nothing.
Well, that's not the problem. The problem is that everybody would bend over backwards, allowing them to run things.
Right.
And the ACC has kind of done that. And they finally fought back a little bit, and Notre Dame is just so outraged. But
Okay, here, let's go. I just pulled it up. Malik in Europe, 25, 18, 19, 16, 22, 15, 16.
wait, are those
26.
point totals?
Yeah, 13, 15, 21. Killing it.
Wow. Good for him.
18 points a game on 28 minutes, shooting 39% from 3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's getting it done over there, man.
Told you, killing it.
Worst thing
Nailed it,
is
Kenneth.
that on his Eurobasket profile, he's wearing a Texas Tech uniform.
Well, that's not his fault.
No.
They just pulled a photo. No idea how that happens. Since we're talking on football, what do we think about this new PE thing, private equity thing Utah is about to do? Do you have thoughts on that, Brad?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a beautiful, giant disaster in a few years.
There's only 2 outcomes. It is a huge disaster that sets them back decades, or they're a little bit ahead of the pack. And I worry that they're going to be a little bit ahead of the pack.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing you really got to factor into this, is that these are all I mean, except for private schools. But these are all public schools who received government funding, who are now
Yes.
turning their athletic department into a for-profit deal. So how is that handled? I mean, are you going to be able to do donations? and
This
get
is my first
tax
question. I've
benefits?
asked, is your donation dollars going to PE? Are you basically funding PE?
Well, not only that, I mean, are they going to be tax deductible?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, why would they be?
You will have to, number one, change how your departments are run. So like Florida State broke their athletics department off from the school and made it into this private thing. And that would be the right way to go if you were doing PE. This way, I have been talking to people since the Big 12 started floating this idea of PE and then having All-State as the title sponsor of the conference. I've been talking to people in athletics at LSU, at UT, here at U of H. And they all seem resigned that this is where the sport is going. That like this is where athletics is going. Is that everybody's going to have PE. And my first question was donations. And my second question is, where does it end? Like, the thought is that they're going to use the PE money to pay for scholarships, pay for costs of living, pay for all of the department salaries and things like that. But I don't know. I've talked to two people recently that have both floated an idea, and they are not at the same schools, floated an idea that it's going to turn into a super league, 64 or so teams with relegation. And a lot of schools are just going to go FCS or devalue athletics. And I hate everything about it. But maybe Utah sees the writing on the wall and they're just getting ahead of it by the tiniest bit. Or they're going to commit to somebody for 20 years and it's going to hold them back because they're now going line by line to see every expense you have, where you can reduce. Do you really need a full football field? Can't we do 80 yards? You know, that kind of thing.
Well,
So,
I mean, if your school has bought out by private equity, understand that your sponsorships are going to go through the roof, the cost of those, for the big wigs donating that, but your season tickets are going to go up to they're going to push it to the highest dollar they could possibly get it before people will just say screw it. But the price of everything is going to go through the roof because they're there to make a profit. So they're going to try to make every dollar that they possibly can.
Mhm.
And they're going to try to cut every dollar that they possibly can. They don't care. It's money. But I think they're going to have to answer a lot of questions in front of
100%.
the Supreme Court.
Yes. But just before you get to that point, there's just so many different ways you can go with this.
Well, I mean, you're going to
if you're focused on a super league, and the thought or the reality is that it's 64 and you can be relegated, you can be cut.
That's not going to work.
Well, it's not going to work. But what I'm just saying, if it was that, you've got to do everything you can to compete, and at that point, we're folding this thing. We're not doing this anymore. I'm just not interested in it. And I just don't think most people would still be interested in college sports.
It's not something I do think that they would, because I don't think people care. I don't think the common fan cares, especially not the ones who are maybe early 30s that are coming up through this, because I mean, this is what they know. I mean, this is just part of what they've known. It's not like an old timer back in the day of when everybody was in it for the rah sis boom bah and did it for school pride. I just don't see how it's going to pass any kind of regulatory approval, because how do you have a for-profit company, or how do you say that you have a for-profit company, but you don't officially have the people who are doing the work aren't officially employees, but you just kind of just pay them whatever. And they have no say in it either, because they're not allowed to collectively bargain because they're not employees. So you're going to have to make structural changes on that, massive ones that are going to cost a lot more money. And there's a lot more risk involved whenever you have those official employees, because then you're going to look at the kind of long-term care of, their health as far as insurance goes, and just a lot of questions on that. But in the talks of doing a 64 team league, I don't think that is feasible, because there aren't 64 teams out there, 64 schools out there.
Well, however many the number is, right? I mean, the number is fungible. You can change it. You can do whatever.
Then it's going to be about 24.
But it's going to screw a lot of schools in a conference like this.
But if they made it like 24, just take the SEC and the Big Ten.
Right.
That would be perfect.
Yeah,
Take them and let them do what they do, and let's get back to more of a college type of deal.
I would be 100% for that. You can have 3 different levels of football: NFL, the Super League, and then college football.
And let's break up all the conferences, start over again, and let's go back to a regional conference and give us our Southwest Conference back. And
have conferences that are right-sized, that you can play everyone every year.
Yeah, have 9 or 10 teams.
10 teams, play non-conference games, go to town. Maybe 2 or 3 conferences bind together, schedule together, do media deals together. But anyways, we're talking way in the future.
Yeah.
Speaking of way in the future, my wild-ass reckless theory is that they're going to somehow get Michael Bishop to take over when Willie is done. I understand how insane that sounds. He has been a college coach for 1 day.
Look, everybody, this guy really wants some attention. This guy is such a freaking loser. All he does is keep coming back and forth to this podcast.
He's had like 5 or 6 names.
At least.
Okay.
This is how much of a loser that person is. Congratulations, dickhead.
Okay.
I banned 3 different versions of his name tonight alone.
Yeah. Some good comments on the PE. I'm not going to get into them right now. Very happy for Jacob. Y'all need to interview him on Sunday nights. It's coming. Watch this space. I think we have a bigger name for this Sunday night. Not 100% on it yet. Think I'm going to get confirmation tomorrow. We'll be good.
I will say, in Ryan's, not defense, but in support of Ryan, anybody that you can think of that you would think to say, y'all should interview them. Trust me, he's already asked for them at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You just got to we have to hope that their schedules work out.
Yeah. And they're not like Dean Connors, who just blows us off. But guess who we've asked for again this week? Dean Connors. We'll see if it happens. I'm going to see him at practice tomorrow and guilt him. I've tried every which way, but we're going to make it work. He's only got 1 game left. Speaking of football, have y'all mentioned anything about Pancake Hunter? No. Pancake is no longer with the football program. He was taken off the roster, which is confirmed by the school. Was not at practice yesterday. He's no longer on the team. There are various theories as to why that is. I'm not going into them because I don't know. If he decides to go transfer and play somewhere else his senior year, good luck, Pancake. I'm waffles all the way anyways. And I think, good for him. Good luck.
Not everywhere's the right fit.
Nope. I'll know the Cougs made the right moves once the Brads of the world attend. He needs to attend and be part of the solution. Staying at home is part of the problem. Yeah,
Well,
Brad.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, and the fact that someone might think that my ass is part of the problem, then so be it.
Okay. Do you know if Burnett is still on the team? Burnett practiced yesterday. I specifically was looking for him, couldn't find him, and it turns out he was running the play and was like, oh, that's why. So, yeah.
Are the high school guys there yet?
No. So they're still in high school. They're still in class. Most of those guys, most of those classes will end next. Well, I mean, it's the 10th.
I don't know I don't know school. All I remember is my niece in high school 10 years ago, and their holidays were completely different than the holidays I had in high school.
Oh, okay. Well, I think most schools will go through the end of next week. So the 19th, I think I heard Keyshawn mention at his signing day that his last day on that campus would be the 19th. So my expectation is he would be here Saturday the 20th. And practicing is probably the wrong word because you don't go from high school one day to playing or practicing the next day, but being involved. And they're not going to play in the bowl game. So their involvement is more about getting acclimated, getting involved, and just that. But yeah, so Burnett was out there. I promise we're on it. I promise. We are at the mercy of the school. The school and the programs and the coaches decide yes or no. We ask, and that's all we can do.
And they have to be available.
They have to be available. They have to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like football after losses, there's not a lot of players that want to come on. Just be honest with you. And that's been a lot bigger issue last year than it was this year, but still a problem. Have y'all thought about having current players after games towards the later part of Cats? Are there rules against it? There's no rules against it. But it is difficult to get that to happen because these guys have been doing everything for 8 hours at that point, and it's a hard ask.
Their normal post game. Normally post game, they're doing what? They get done, go sit down, have their team meeting.
Yep.
Then
media.
Then they're doing their
shower,
their
food.
media.
A lot of guys get treatment.
Guys are getting treatment. Then they're back on the floor practicing.
Sometimes they're back out on this floor. They're in the other gym. When they'll have family, like this is the time of year you see a lot more family than normal. And so that's an issue. But we have talked through that before. We'll talk about it again. I would not get your hopes up on post game. It's just logistics of it don't make a ton of sense for I mean, it makes sense for us. It doesn't make sense for the school.
I mean, we
or
were
the
able
player.
we were able to do it maybe a couple of times on really big wins.
Well, in the
Making
NCAA
it up.
tournament, when they're required to be available, is when we've really done it. Football, they did help us out a year ago, last year in 2024, with some football players after games, and that was kind of cool. I'll talk to him again about it, but thank you for the suggestion. I like the idea. I would love the idea.
Mhm.
Do you know why Burnett has not played more? Willie was asked this question yesterday or the day before and said it was the emergence of DJ Butler. My guess is they try to find a medical red shirt for him. I don't know 100%, but we'll see. Ryan, do you follow LSU a lot? Expect to see Nuss or Van Buren. It'll be Van Buren. Nuss is not going to play. He's been injured all year, frankly, but they just finally took him out in the last month or so.
He's got to save himself for the draft. He doesn't need another more horrendous data point.
That third round draft slot is going to be.
Well, he needs to be as far away from his last performance as possible. He can't afford another stinker. And just hope that he has a great combine and a great personal workout so people will forget. I mean, all he's got to do is just go be a tall white dude and throw the ball really hard. And they're, let me get him in the second round. Cleveland.
My apologies if this was already talked about. If Mercy can continue to earn Kelvin's trust, in my opinion, he can be just as valuable to this team as Malik Wilson was a year ago. Okay. That's a hard ask. It's a hard comparison for me because Mercy is a better shooter, but Mercy is not as athletic as Malik. Mercy can make big shots for you, but, Malik made some really big shots and made really big plays. I don't know. Maybe he could be. Maybe he could be your Malik. Maybe he could be.
He could. But understand, I wouldn't expect him to do that. And the reason why is because
he needs to take a step and then another step, which is what Malik did.
Malik was a super senior. I mean, he'd been around for, that was what, his fifth, sixth year?
Well, third school.
Yeah.
In fifth or sixth year, I think.
If you remember the year before, I mean, it took him a while to get to be where he was.
I've told y'all on this show before that his teammates here laughed at his shot to his face. And he overcame that and overcame how quirky and weird the shot was and got just more of a repetition on it so he could do the same thing every time. And man, I love that kid. I love that guy. And if Mercy can make a step and contribute in the Big 12, I think that's a win.
Absolutely.
I think it's a win. I think if you put high expectations on him, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Take a step, contribute in the Big 12, help you win a game and then another. And then, we'll see.
I'm just excited to see him being a lot more aggressive and playing normal. And when I say playing normal, playing like he's not afraid or not, I don't want to say he was afraid, but he's always looked tentative and apprehensive of making a mistake. And that's kind of a mental hump that takes a while to get for players to get over because they're not used to.
If your expectation is failure before you take the shot, and that's kind of where he was. He did not have confidence that the ball was going in.
Well, and for the first time in these guys' career, they're at a point where if they stack a few bad possessions on top, they're yanked out of the game. That would never happen in high school. And they were never asked to play defense in high school.
Right.
Or at least they weren't what was considered defense and playing good defense in high school, it's not good defense here. It's not nowhere near acceptable.
I talked to somebody about this yesterday. I talked to a lot of people yesterday. But this is the first time virtually every single guy that you see playing for U of H in football, basketball, whatever, that they have not been the man. And Mercy was the man his entire life. And he comes here and he's not. And that's a huge hurdle mentally and emotionally to get over. Guys like Austin Carlisle is a perfect example of this. Keyshawn might end up being this example. Austin Carlisle was the man. And he comes in here and he's not playing quarterback and he's not getting on the field. And when he does, it's for a play here and 2 plays there. And that's a roadblock. And you've got to learn to deal with that. And they've never, ever had to deal with something like that. And I think it's a bigger deal than most people would make it out to be. Before I started to really think about it, I didn't think much of it. So
when I got to U of H, first day of it wasn't first day of practice, but we all got here and then we were out working out on our own. I looked around and I realized that the guys that I was playing with now are guys that I had played against in JUCO, and there were 7 other JUCO All-Americans that I was playing against. But then the guys that I was playing against that came out of high school were all state, all region where they came from. You are the best at where you came from, and it's the first time that you're going to be doing that on a day-to-day basis, and you're trying to beat out guys that you're not used to doing. Even at the elite level that some of our guys are, they've never faced a full team of them.
Right. Or practice, had to beat them out in practice. It's not even getting to a game. Malik was my favorite too. I'm happy to see him. I think Mercy do the little things that makes a great basketball player. If I'm not mistaken, he had an offensive rebound and kicked it back out to Emmanuel for 3. Yes, I believe that's true. Mercy had a 68-point game in high school. Going from that to playing a specific role off the bench definitely isn't easy adjustment. Agreed. Will McFarland be available more in the future? Yes. If the future is more than what he has been available until tonight, then yes, for sure. Seen a report they are picking and choosing certain games. He won't practice tomorrow because he's just not to that point.
I would think that they're going to be very, very.
You do not go overboard.
No, very cautious with him.
And you know what? That's 100% the right way to go. I am surprised he got in this early in December. I thought it would still be a while. So, I think it's a great story. He's a great guy. His teammates think he is an awesome teammate. And when he got in the game, you saw guys that were on the floor come up and hug him and excited for him. And I just was looking at Isaiah Harwell, and he, he's only known Jacob a little bit, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. Getting married on Friday. Any advice from the boys? Well, Brad's never been married. I've never been married.
I mean, I could give you some advice, but you don't want to take
sure. Yeah, find a divorce lawyer. They just know his name. But I'm sure she's a wonderful girl. Good luck, Connor. So people now get married on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. And it's because of these venues are never available on Saturdays, or if they are, it's a premium. I think I'd like to get married on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And that way you can just take a long weekend to adjust. That would be my thought. Brad?
My thought would be save your money, go through a drive-through in Vegas, and be done with it.
Okay. Brad's a romantic.
I am.
Any update on Sacco? No. If Harwell can continue this form, how do you think it changes rotation? I think he's a freshman and he had one good game. He could go out and be 0 for 6 with 4 turnovers in the next game, and it wouldn't be surprising. So you try to stack. It's not even right now about stacking games, it's about stacking days. Yeah. So he has to go and be good tomorrow. And then in a light practice, be good Friday. And, you know, it's hard to think that you're depending on freshmen, but you are. And, you know, can
this is one thing that we don't. I mean, I have to remind myself is, you know, when I tell myself, well, we don't normally rely on freshmen. We never had freshmen like this.
Correct.
I mean, the freshmen we're getting now are similar to the caliber that we played against in Duke from Duke last year, or that you see at other places.
Florida, Purdue,
Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of the teams you had to go through last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee. I mean, you're recruiting at that level now.
Gonzaga.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot about Gonzaga. That's wild that you played them as early as you did.
I mean, does he change the rotation? If you really think about it, he's kind of been in the rotation already. I mean, he's been a pretty decent part of it. The only thing that got him pulled out of it is just making mistakes.
And he's been banged up.
Yeah. I mean, he was banged up before he got here. Then he got here, and he's banged up a little bit. He's played into it. But man, you see, if you had any questions, I think tonight might have at least said, okay, this is why they recruited this kid, because he was getting it done. Just physically, he's tall. He's bigger than what I expected. He's taller than what I remembered him being last year. Like legit 6'6", and has a more advanced frame.
Okay. I've never heard somebody say more advanced frame. Star Pizza. Tomorrow is Thursday. You got wine and pasta specials. Friday, you got the all-you-can-eat world-famous buffet. If you can't get the Star Pizza, they deliver. They'll deliver to downtown, the Medical Center, the Heights. 3 locations in Katy, near Greenway, and then I think they call it Buffalo Heights. What do they call that area? I don't know. Get you some. 3 locations. Reverse happy hour tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Enjoy Star Pizza. Brad, talk to me about Section 12X.
Section12x.com. Gear up for the game. Gear up for your family. Look good for your family. Connor?
You should do that.
Huh?
Look good for your family.
I do. I always look good.
Yeah.
Connor, get you some Section 12X gear for your wedding. I think your groomsmen probably dig that too, or at least a hat, Hook that up.
You should give that as like a groomsman present. That's a really good present.
Yep. Section 12X. And if they don't want them, invite them into Section 12X and let them get what Section 12X was built on. Knuckle sandwiches.
No Wednesday wedding for me. I was just told. We were talking about giving away some Section 12X gear today. We're going to do it Saturday. Saturday of UNO
Uno.
The privateers right here. Yeah, Uno was here today. Uno. And you'll play Uno on Saturday.
And with UNO coming in, you got their GM, father of Mercy,
former U of H player.
Guy also named Percy, or more commonly known as Master P. No Limit Soldier, king of No Limit. Ryan doesn't know what I'm talking about.
You know, somebody actually said that to me. A member of the staff today said to me that No Limit Soldier is going to be marching in on Saturday, and I had no clue what it meant. I'm honest with you.
I know. I mean, you're literally like 20 years older than me, but not literally.
Not literally, though. Johnny Airbear, the strict Jesuit recruit that's coming into U of H next year, was named the touchdown player of the year tonight.
So he's Johnny Touchdown.
Johnny Touchdown.
Don't call him Johnny Football. That's already been taken by another douche.
Well, he's not a douche. Saying another indicates that he's one. He's actually really cool. He did a great segment with Martin on our website a few months ago. You should check that out. GoCoogs.com. Click on the recruiting tab and you'll find it. Very cool situation there.
You know, we talked about football. We didn't mention the biggest news, really. Connor Wigman just flat out came out and said, yeah, I'm planning on coming back. Yeah, absolutely. What else would I do? It's a pretty good deal.
I have thoughts on this, but I don't know that they're fully prepared. They're fully brought together. I started writing about it today, and I hit kind of a mental wall. But I'm going to try to work it out right here. Connor Wigman is the reason you were 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
Without Connor Wigman, you're a 4 or 5 win team. I think he's that big a difference. And people are treating him like he's keeping the seat warm for Keyshawn, which in a very extreme view, okay, but we're all keeping the seat warm for somebody. Connor, I always take this back to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, the best LSU quarterback ever. Joe was an average quarterback his first year at LSU.
Threw for 2,400 yards. He had 21 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
When did you become Rain Man? What is happening?
I looked it up yesterday.
Okay.
I mean, I was having this exact argument the other day.
And Joe Burrow, in the second year of a system, flourished, and now everybody around him had a great year.
5,600 yards, I believe, 60 touchdowns passing, and 6 interceptions. Now, everybody will say is that, well, you know, he had Jefferson and Chase and who was the other younger one that took over after that?
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson,
Marshall.
He had Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But
the point is
he had them the exact same people his junior year. All of those guys were there his junior year.
Now it's going to be different because of NIL and everything else. But I'm going to tell you, I expect Connor to take a jump just like he did. Will it be the same? No. But Connor is going to get better. And you're going to have some weapons. You've got to figure out who's staying, who's going. But what I will say to you is that it's a good sign. Besides Pancake Hunter, everybody else was at practice yesterday. Everybody was working out. Tanner Kojal was working out. Amari Thomas was working out. If you can, obviously Tanner's not coming back. He's out of eligibility. But if you can get Amari back and then use some of the weapons you have coming in, use the portal well, this could be a contender for the Big 12 next year. Now, a lot of things have to go right. But to write off Connor Wigman as merely a stand-in for Keyshawn, and we had Keyshawn on this week, and we were both blown away, and we think he's going to be great.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you how crazy this Keyshawn phenomenon is. I sat with Kellen Sampson yesterday for about half an hour, just me and him talking. And homeboy wanted to talk about Keyshawn Henderson and talk about U of H has this guy for 3 years. Maybe something happens with the portal, whatever. But in basketball, in their sport, they have to, deal every year. A guy could go to the NBA. You don't do that in football. And what Keyshawn will mean to this program, not just his 3 or 4 or 5 years here, but the guys that he's able to recruit and that he's able to lure to U of H, he made it acceptable. And this is Kellen's words. Keyshawn made it acceptable to come to U of H.
Mm-hmm.
The best players in the city, he made it okay. He gave them permission, basically. And he's saying that Kingston and Senac and Harwell have kind of done that at U of H. Marcus and Jamal and other guys got better as they went on here. Jarris Walker was a kind of a one-off 5-star, and then Quentin Grimes came in after his time at Kansas. But this class that basketball has, and then Keyshawn and what these guys are going to do and how they're going to elevate that floor and that ceiling in football is remarkable. But you don't just have some scrub sitting there. You've got a 5-star starter this year.
Mm-hmm.
And see, my thoughts are all over the place. I just don't have it clearly lined out yet.
I mean, here's the thing. Do you want the best thing for the player? Do you want the best thing for the team, for the program? Best thing for the team and the program is to allow the young man to come in and watch and practice. And the thing is that you're only a snap away. He could be forced into action. I mean, that could happen.
100%.
Look, people want to talk about that. Hey, Bear Bachmeyer, he was a starter as a freshman this year, only because Retzloff got caught doing some stuff and broke the honor code and found his way to Tulane.
Nobody's plan is to have a true freshman quarterback come in and start from day one. It happened at Michigan. It happened at BYU. And yes, they can have success, but they're going to have more success watching and learning and understanding.
DJ Lagway started as a freshman.
Yeah.
Neither. It's just kind of bleh. It's really, really, really difficult for a true freshman to walk and become a starter. The thing is that for a player's development, you don't really want him to, especially at the quarterback position. See, if you listen to some of the older football, this is not college, but it relates. One of the things that you see older quarterbacks talking about today, at the lack of quality quarterbacks in the NFL, as far as the depth goes, guys are rushed into being starters too soon.
Okay, I thought there was going to be more there, but
Well, no, guys
just
get rushed. They get rushed into being a starter too soon. They don't know the system. They don't know the pro game. Same thing with college kids. It's so much faster. College, the difference between college and high school, the speed is dramatically faster. I mean, it's incomprehensible. And let's be real honest here. It's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings, but Keyshawn is coming from a very, very small, tiny high school that didn't play against the greatest talent in the world. Give him
But
time.
even if they did, it's not the same. You can chunk a ball down the field in high school and never get hurt. You do that in college, you're going to get picked off. You're going to have problems. And there's just certain things you can do athletically in high school that you're just not going to be able to do here. Or if you do it here, everybody else is doing it too.
Well, I mean, like you've heard me and Galen talking about it with our guys, with Kingston, even as great as he is. The windows are smaller. Players react different to it. Players are bigger. They're bigger, stronger, and faster, and they're at every level. And then, older players who have, a little bit more experience, they know little tricks of the trade. Guess what? They know where you're going to throw the ball because they're watching your eyes because you're not disciplined with your eyes. So they're going to get a half step jump on what you're throwing. But
Kingston did it the very first play of this game. Is he tried to make a pass that would have worked out for him at Brennan High School in San Antonio. Got picked off right in the lane tonight.
I mean, I'll say this. As long as Wigman's healthy, I want him to be on the field.
For sure.
I want Keith. I would love to see him get a shot in his 4 games. And that's it. I want him to preserve that red shirt, get bigger, stronger, faster, smarter, more accustomed, understand everything that you're getting into. And then guess what? It's open season. It's your job to lose.
Yeah. And 100% from day one, Keyshawn, you are competing for this job. And if you are better than Connor Rigman as a freshman, go get it. But you don't get any special privileges. You don't get to cut to the front of the line because you're a 5-star or that you're the number 1 player. For all intents and purposes, that does not matter anymore. Being the number 1, it's going to matter for the next 9 days of high school. And then after the 19th, when you're done with high school and you come here, it's over. So,
I mean, I think back, we think about all the offensive linemen that we can't recruit because we can't get the 5-star here, 5-star superstar offensive lineman. But then whenever we signed Josh Jones, he was a mid to upper 3-star. Came in and started day 1 because he earned it.
Right, but
he played like a 5-star.
Okay. I don't know how you're comparing that, but
in that,
anyways,
the stars don't matter.
Brad, where do we rank in the Big 12 now?
There is we're not playing in basketball, and I guess we finished in 4th. I don't. Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know. I somehow muted you, so where I couldn't hear you.
We haven't started.
Well, I don't know if we're talking about football, basketball, whatever, but I'm just going to say 3rd.
Did we finish
There's
3rd?
no pressure. Oh, no. In football, you finish 4th.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if you're just making me pick I'll just say 3rd because you don't want to be first. That's a lot of pressure. So
I mean, everybody's told me that Arizona is going to win it and BYU is going to win it also. Iowa State's definitely going to win it, and Texas Tech's going to win it. And
Kansas, can't count them out.
Kansas, yeah. We're not going to win it, but we weren't going to win it last year or the year before. I have no clue. I mean, we could finish 5th. Who freaking knows?
You could finish 5th and be a Final Four team.
Yeah.
I mean, this conference looks way better than it has the last 2 years. It looks
better
now. Who knows?
It looks better than it's ever looked.
Right, but I can only talk definitively about the 2 years that U of H has been here. But man, it looks stacked. It looks you had wars last year. This looks like a harder deal. And you have to go to Cincinnati in the first game. You go to Texas Tech in that first month. It is not going to be an easy ride. But man, you go to Baylor January 10th. It's going to be a hard start to this conference, but man, it's going to be so much fun. I'm ready for it. I think Calvin's glad he has a few more weeks before he has to deal with that. People act like Keyshawn won't want to sit, but he's literally sitting behind another 5-star. He doesn't want to sit, but
Nobody wants to sit, but you understand.
you have had this conversation a million times with the staff.
For 2 years.
Nobody's lying to you about it. They're saying there's a guy, there's you. You get to compete, but the plan is to redshirt. Now that could change. It could change at portal time. It could change in spring ball, the summer, fall ball, during the season. Plan can always change.
Well, I mean, if it's me, I'm telling everybody, I'm not planning on redshirting anybody. We'll figure that out at the end. I want you to prepare and practice like you're going to be a starter.
Yeah.
And that's because I want everybody fighting for that, because guess what? You can win the job.
I tried to tell my buddy the reasoning on why Key would sit and learn, and his response is, yeah, until somebody comes with a check and immediate playing time. Well, it's not like Keyshawn hasn't heard that every day for 2 years. Somebody has been, and I mean, it sounds like he takes every call. So somebody's probably said, here's more money. Somebody's probably said, here's more playing time. I'm guessing. Anyways, and where does U of H sit in regards to a ceiling for the football program? 5 years ago, I would have told you there is a definitive ceiling where you can be X good. And then you get into the Big 12. And it's like, uh-oh. I don't know where that ceiling is. But NIL, the transfer portal, and rev share have done something that the big boys never dreamed about, and it's made the playing field more level. You have a legitimate shot to get top-end players, and more important than that second tier of players who can be the backbone of your program.
100%.
And that is where U of H's ceiling has risen considerably. Now, you had a lower ceiling also because you had a coach, a joke of a coach. This guy has come in, and it was not pretty last year, but they got everything they could out of this team in 12 games, 9 wins. I think, and you never ever hear me say that, I think they're going to win the bowl game. I think you get to 10 wins. I think just going to win the bowl game. And you go into the spring with all the momentum, and that's going to help you so much in recruiting and building. The last guy wanted to recruit everywhere but in this city. And a lot of guys have done the same thing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. But you have to be a Houston-based program for a billion reasons. But the number one reason is there's really good football players. And those people live in Houston and become season ticket holders, and their families come to games. And I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody agreed.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I mean, like this year's recruiting class, and last year to an extent. Last year this year we had the high end 5-star, and then a couple of good 4-stars on top of it. But the strength of these two recruiting classes compared to where we've been historically is that we raised the floor significantly. The bottom of our board is filled with guys that are in, if you go on by the 24/7 ratings, that are 87, 86, 87, maybe a
Nobody
couple of
knows what that
85.
means.
Basically, you're filling your class up with a lot of high 3 stars as opposed to high 3 stars being the best that you got. And then the
Yeah.
rest of them are low 3 star and 2 stars, in which right now I don't think there's even 2 stars exist anymore.
No. But the guys you're bringing in are just significantly better. And, you and I did a show in November of 2023. Dana gets fired. That very day, you and I did a show, and we talked about who is the guy we want. Who do you think is the right guy? And we both said Willie Fritz. And I wanted him because all he does is build programs. It's not flash, but he builds programs. And he's done exactly that. Like, we look like fucking geniuses. We're not. But if anybody were to come across that podcast, they'd be like, oh, look at these guys. They understood. But it's not really anything special. It's just, okay, that guy's done that there, and there. Well, he can come to U of H with better resources, a better recruiting profile, and a better place to recruit to and kill it. And guess what he's done?
Everything changed in the perception of Willie Fritz after what he did at Tulane. Now, people who are younger now that, maybe getting into college or whatever, or maybe early 30s guys, you don't really remember how god-awful Tulane was. I mean, they were as bad as we've been. They were like us at the end of the Southwest Conference. And you probably don't even remember that, but they were abysmal. They were one of the worst teams that existed. And then Willie took that job and made them instantly respectable, and then all of a sudden turned them into some kind of juggernaut. We've been told for decades that we can't recruit players that are good enough to run a power running game. But while we shared a conference with Willie, he was recruiting against us, recruiting the same types of players, and somehow he was able to create a power running game. We were told that we can't have a power running game this year because our offensive line is so bad. Somehow we did. Somehow we did it, won 9 games. And I think one thing that hopefully people are recognizing now, the mystique and the mask is off about P4 being P4, especially here in the Big 12. It was always assumed that just because the team's in the P4, they're automatically better. Oh, we beat a P4 team. When we used to say that, hey, we beat a P4 team. It's like, but you beat Vanderbilt, who was 2-9. Who cares? Same thing here. Or we beat Mississippi State and they were, 3-9. P4 is not, especially in the Big 12, not that different. And it's a perfect place for us because the difference between the team with the most money and the least amount of money, which is surprisingly West Virginia, but we're only $1 million or $2 million above them. But it's smaller here than it is in any other conference. So this conference really is up for grabs. The only thing you got to be concerned about is Texas Tech and, how deep their pockets go and how are they going to be able to be consistent in being right about all their transfers? Yeah, they're concerned with us,
pretty
but
well
we're
right
not,
now.
We're not way up there.
Okay. I think we've had enough. I told you we were doing this for 1 hour tonight because I just needed to get home, and I stuck to my word. Just 1 hour after that first 50 minutes.
Yep, you said
It doesn't matter. Brad, final thoughts.
got to win, and got a lot of good minutes for guys that we are going to need in the future. Really start. I mean, it's great to see E-Man look so good. I mean, look so easy. But I really love seeing Harwell finally look like he feels comfortable. I'm loving to see the different side of Mercy, seeing a scrappy guy. And then McCarty is, I think between McCarty and Miller, you're looking at guys who are going to be your core next year, and you should feel pretty good that the future is going to be very bright, because I think those two guys got it. They're right there with Ramon they're following Ramon's path, I'll say, of doing the Coug things that you need to do to be competitive on this team. So it's great to see that. I'm worried and concerned for Sacco, but we'll adjust as fit. But you keep your fingers crossed you get the best outcome with him.
Yeah. The U of H bench outscored Jackson State 40-38. You like to see that. Harwell is a big part of that. Ramon Walker had 6. Mercy Miller had 9. Chase McCarty ended up with 7 boards. He was your number 1 rebounder. He was your top rebounder tonight. Mm-hmm. Chris Sinak, did he play much in the second half? I just don't remember seeing him. Played 8 minutes, not very much. You didn't need him, and it was a time for other young guys to shine.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of good came out of this, but one of the U of H traditions you have is these quirky December games where you have injuries, where they start to mount, and just see how this goes. With Sacco, I mean, you were really depending on him, but super happy for Jacob McFarland tonight. Just a genuinely good guy who deserves a good outcome, finally. Duarte tweeted that Jacob called his mother after the game and talked to her about his college debut, and she screamed. His dad was watching the game in his car and was stopped by California police. I don't know if he was watching it and driving. I don't know. But he didn't get a ticket, McFarland said, which that's funny. Man, just really happy for him. Really happy for everybody in this program that got to celebrate with him. We're going to be back Saturday afternoon. It's a 2:00 game.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
4:30. Yeah, so no nap for you. No nap for me either. I'll be at practice tomorrow, football practice tomorrow morning, but won't be at basketball practice because I get to go see a high school play.
Awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. So we'll see you Saturday. Then we'll see you Sunday night. I think we're going to have pretty good guests Sunday. Dean, Connor's tried to say to me that our show is at 8 and it's just too late for him. I'm like, that's hard to believe, but we'll try. I'm going to get him. It might cost me, but I'm going to get him. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all hanging out. Good crowd tonight, especially for a midweek. And we'll see y'all Saturday.